Hey folks, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Out and about on another bike review today. And today I'm on something that is just pure fun. This is the brand new Ducati Monster. If you're interested in this bike, stick around and stay tuned. I'll tell you what I think of it. So the Ducati Monster then, brand new. Well, brand new to me anyway. I've not ridden many Monsters in the past, but this one came out, well, it was sort of unveiled at the back end of 2020. Brand new bike for 2021. And this is the first chance I've had to ride it, so this is going to be very much my first impressions review of the bike. Been quite a successful bike for Ducati over the years, the Monster. And this particular model caused quite a stir when it was unveiled, because the first time that Ducati had made a Monster without a trellis frame, that kind of trademark red frame that they were so known for. However, the bike has been improved in all respects, not just the frame. And I'll tell you, even having only been riding this today for a couple of hours, I can tell you it is just a funster. This is a cracking motorcycle. It's got the 950-ish cc engine in it. So the engine on the new Monster is 111 brake horsepower. It's the same engine as in the Multistrada 950 and a couple of other bikes as well, the Super Sport. And there we go, it's the one that they call the Interceptor. It puts out 111 brake horsepower at 9,250 RPM and 93 Newton meters of torque, or 69 foot-pounds at 6,500 if you're in the old money. So a very realistic spot for it to put its power out. And I have to say, this isn't a bike you ever think to yourself, this needs more power. It's got all that Ducati V-twin character, and I mean that in a good way. Sometimes people talk about character meaning that you know, the thing's vibraty, or you can't see out the mirrors because they're too blurred or something like that. But this, no, this actually feels lovely when you're riding it, and the character on this is proper V-twin character. It sounds amazing. You can feel a little bit of lumpiness in there, but that just reminds you you're on a twin. But that is not a bad thing, because it sounds lovely. And it doesn't give you terrible vibes through the handlebars or anything. It's a little bit of vibes on the foot pegs maybe, but nothing too intrusive. It's certainly not going to get on your nerves. Blimey, it's an absolutely horrible day out here today. Would you believe this is summer? I'm recording this on the 31st of August. The bike I'm actually riding is a courtesy bike. My Ducati is up at On Your Bike, just north of Aylesbury, having its annual service done. And those guys very kindly have lent me this bike as a courtesy bike, as I say. So given I'd never ridden one before, I thought it was too good an opportunity to not come out and tell you what I thought of it. The good news is, I suppose, is that I have ridden it in this sort of cruddy weather. When I came back early this morning from On Your Bike, it was chucking it down, and I have to say, the bike was really confidence inspiring. As soon as I jumped on it, I thought, wow, this is a fun bike. From a practical point of view, it feels super light and super comfortable. The seat on here, I wouldn't describe as soft, but it's certainly comfortable. Feels very similar actually to the seat on my Panigale, but of course I am much more upright than on that bike. This is a very comfortable place to be. Alright, let's talk matters practical on the Monster then. The seat on here, a very friendly 820mm as standard, but it's got this really narrow waist. I can get my feet flat on the deck. I'm only 5'8" with a 32-inch leg, and I can get my feet flat on the deck. If you are a shorty, the good news is you can adjust this to 800mm, or if you get the suspension spring kit, you can spec it down to 775mm, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you are a shorter of the leg, you can get a shorter version of this bike for you, which is brill. What other things practical? Oh, the tank on here, 14 litres this holds. Not too sure what that's going to translate to in fuel economy, but I don't imagine this is going to be a particularly thirsty bike. Handlebars are nice and wide. Leant forward a little tiny bit, but there's no weight on my wrist. It's just, as I say, a comfy place to be. Just while we're behind this car with nothing behind, let's just try the brakes. Oh, brakes on here are amazing, certainly on the front. Let's just come around here and try the rears. Yeah, rears aren't bad actually. So the brakes on the front of the Monster, these are Brembo 4-pot calipers sitting on a 320, well, in fact dual disc 320mm. They work absolutely splendidly well, and just check out that red colour on the wheels as well. I think they look great on this particular colour bike. This is the grey bike. On the rear we've got 245mm disc and a single pot caliper. Works a bit sort of you know, meh, but you know, it works nonetheless in the usual way that rear brakes do on bikes. While we're looking at it, check out that exhaust. I think that's actually looks really nice. Not so sure about all the gubbins underneath. That's often the case with these Euro 5 bikes, but the actual rear bit looks good, and I think it sounds good. Definitely a bike that needs a tail tidy, and it needs a wash as well. Sorry about that on your bike. But yeah, lovely in this colour scheme. Actually comes in 3 colour schemes. This one, a stealth black one, and a red one as well, which looks really good. But I think this is probably my favourite of the colour schemes.
And one of the first things you noticed about the bike, other than the comfort, is actually just how light it feels. It's such a chuckable bike, this. Bit of a shame I'm stuck behind this car. But yeah, it just feels so light.
So just looking at the numbers here, the weight of this, I've already mentioned, it feels very light when you ride it. It actually weighs 166 kilograms dry, or Ducati say 188 kilograms curb weight. So one of the lighter bikes that I've ridden, and I have to say it just feels really chuckle, really light. If lightness is important to you, this is a bike worth considering.
I love a light bike. I own plenty of heavy ones, so it's such a treat when I get on a light one. And it just reminds me how great they are when they don't weigh much. If you're new into biking, or a smallish person, or dare I say it, a lady, then you'd find this bike very easy to live with due to its lightweight.
So the Monster is a bike that's quite well spec'd electronics wise. Let me show you what she's like when you turn her on, because sometimes people like to see the TFT. If I turn her on, there we go, we've got the Ducati TFT. It looks kind of similar to me as the one on the Panigale. Very clear and nice and easy to use as well. All the selections, if I just change hands on the camera, all the selections are done here through this this button, up and down, and then press it. As I say, very intuitive. I haven't read the manual, and I've managed to work out how this all works. It's got engine modes on here, fantastic Ducati quick shifter. It's got lean angle sensitive ABS, plenty of electronics. And check out the lights as well. Here's the front light. That running light looks amazing. And something else that I've noticed, which is rather cool, if I turn the indicators on, it's got those fancy sort of progressive indicators. How cool does that look? Should we check out the back ones as well? Why not? They're progressive too. Look at that. Jolly cool, that sort of thing appeals to me.
Nice and easy to get off the side stand, and it's one of those bikes where the side stand actually falls easily to foot, which is nice. Starting it with this button here. And there's that TFT, which
suspension wise, the bike comes with a 43mm upside down fork on the front here. Seems to work absolutely fine. On the back, nothing particularly special, just a simple monoshock tucked under there with preload adjustment. Now, like all Ducatis, starting it is always makes you wonder whether they're going to start, but they do always start. But let me just demonstrate what I mean. When you turn it on, if I start her up with this button here, actually didn't sound too bad that time. No doubt it was going to start. They always start Ducatis, but they all sound a bit slow to me when you turn them over. What else to say? Oh, the price of the bike, did I mention that? $10,385 for the standard Monster. You can get something called the Monster Plus, and that gives you a seat cowl and a bit of a cowling at the front, I think, and that's about another 200 quid, something like that.
So you join me in the garage now. The 899 is back, all done from the servicing. I had a few issues with the sound at the very end of the video there, hence one finishing it in here. All I was going to mention was the competitors for the Monster, and the things that leap to mind are bikes like the Yamaha MT-09, the KTM Duke 790, both amazing motorcycles. Very competitive segment, that one that the Monster is in. What I would say is the Monster is slightly more expensive than those other bikes, but there's always something so special about riding a Ducati. They always put a smile on your face, and the Monster is no different. It feels so lightweight, so flickable. That engine just spins up with ease. I really enjoyed riding it, so thank you very much indeed to the guys down at On Your Bike for letting me borrow that while this one was in for a service. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did, or hit subscribe if you've not done so already, and that way I can see you on the next video. Alright, look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mist and Fly. Cheerio.
Sitting on dual discs, those are 420mm, and they work really well. And just check out those, that's wrong. If we have a look on the back, sorry, the back 320, front 420, let's do it all again.
the engine which is eager to spin up. I just really enjoyed riding that. So thank you very much to the guys down at Power Biking, not Power Biking. Let's do that again.